Hi, are you aware of the impact of your consumption patterns? Well, here in Mexico we have quite a big problem. For starters, on several colonies there has been observed high waste accumulation on places just like this one. What is it? It is a landfill, a clandestine landfill, one of many. And they have proven to originate a plethora of problems that affect the lives of the inhabitants of the zone. Starting from the more surface level problems, bad smell. It's quite uncomfortable to be around these places, and even worse, to live around these places. But the problems start to be really big, really fast. For example, as the rain starts pouring, it will dissolve the waste and it will collect down in the earth, causing health risks and mayhem to the community. And even to add to the problem, they create an insecure environment, as the area's repelling qualities have proven to be a common choice for bad actors to do their illicit activities. For example, narco traffic, shootings, and even worse. The government tries to close them all the time, but just as you close one, another pops out. And also, in the past, the government has tried to implement recycling programs like this one. This is called Punto Limpio, or the translation, clean points, but they don't seem so clean, right? Well, they sell the idea of helping establish more sustainable consumption patterns, but in truth, these programs have shown to be misused and misused by the communities, just like this one. And in some places, even created a bigger problem than what they were trying to solve. There have been cases where people have demanded a clean point to be closed. This is another type of clean point, and it is quite common to see them like this. What has been tried? Well, by the government, we have clean points, over 230 locations with waste collectors of different materials. They have costed the city hall over $10 million since 2019. That it is a quite big sum of money if we take into account that they are not solving the problem they wanted to solve. Then we have the Tianguis del Recicle. This is an initiative by people, normal people, social workers, that in which they travel with trucks around the city, establishing a schedule of places and time where you have to go with them with your waste, and they will help you sort it into different bags, and they will take it into a recycling plant. It sounds really good, and they really are doing God's work, but it's quite difficult to be where they are gonna be in the time they are gonna be. It's quite common that you go to the place and they have already moved on to the next location, or they are gonna be late just by 2 or 1 hour. And this is another solution, the eco bloque. This is one installed in a park, and I like to call this like a clean point but done right. Um, they are places where there has to be a person, and you give them your waste, and they will sort it into containers. And it's quite it works. It's quite a good solution, but having a person to be there all times is quite demanding, both to the person and the economics involved in that. And it doesn't even tackle the root causes of the problem. So what are the root causes? We haven't even mentioned that. Well, the real problem is that there is a lack of culture and education of recycling. It is impossible. We have been given these really great tools like the clean point, but we don't know how to use them. This is, for example, a clean point that is gonna start, well, it starts looking really clean, but then we move on to the side. This, for example, is a container for glass, and we are gonna see glass, but shattered all over the ground. What is wrong with the community? Well, they have not received education. They lack a culture of an education of recycling. The actual solution, well, allows us to introduce ourselves. We are CycloFant, where our mantra is revolutionizing education to change the world, where recycling is child's play. What are we? Well, we are a social impact enterprise focused on developing educational platforms to teach recycling and better consumption patterns to children in developing communities by designing fun and interactive experiences for the youngest. Our vision is to transform recycling education by providing interactive machines in schools, incentivizing recycling with rewards, and promoting sustainable consumption patterns. How do we help? Well, according to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, we are going to be helping in four different goals. The fourth, by bringing quality education on sustainable consumption patterns. The 12th, by establishing responsible consumption patterns from a really early age. The third, good health and well-being by reducing uh, the impact of landfills. And 13th, climate action. By recycling, we are directly having effects on climate action. How are we gonna do this? Well, with a unique perspective, of course. The idea of learning through play is nothing new, but we just combine this great way to appeal to children and the possibility to create a circular economy, as the recyclables will make a return on investment. This will allow us to be one of the most economic and effective solutions to the root causes of the problems mentioned previously. But how are we gonna do this? Well, our strategy consists in 5 steps. First, introducing ourselves. To who? To school head directors involved in kindergarten and primary levels. Then, by involving parents, we are going to establish programs in the schools where parents can take part in the recycling process and the learning development of their child. This can be really good for their family and quite good for the environment. Then we are going to gather help from social service workers, as their help is crucial to assist in the maintenance of the machine. Then, by forming alliances with the government, like government programs like the Ecobloque or Tianguis del Recicle, we are going to try to work in the best manner possible. And fifth, gather more help. We're looking for investors and funding. Our practices will involve a lot of research and development and human resources. We are eager to find a partner that is involved in the recycling industry or the education sector. What support do we have right now? Well, by now we establish communications with the social service department at a public institution or university, in which they received us with open arms, and they promised to evaluate the possibility to have social workers to travel to the schools we are going to implement these machines, to give them maintenance, regular check-ins, and even the collection of waste. Then we also have the feedback on the idea and the mantra from a primary school. They also received us with open arms, and they are really interested. They received us like, when are we starting? And we are just starting. Then we have the consent signature to on a proposal of implementation on a kindergarten. They also received us with open arms, and just like that, we ended going out of the session, and they were saying, "Well, but when do you give us the machine? When are you gonna install it?" And we just had to answer in a moment. Well, that is all from our part. Thanks for your time. It was a pleasure. Thanks.